During the shooting of one of my upcoming videos for the channel, this occurred to me.
And I've had this Tudor for, wait, have I had it for a year? Oh, that means I get to do a year.
And look, a lot can happen to a watch in 365 days of wear. It can start to drift, scratches, or if you're me, Tudor releases a 39mm Pelagos, and it only highlights some of the not so perfect attributes of the Black Bay 58 and makes you question your purchase in the first place. But the good news is it doesn't have any scratches on the bezel. I will cover all of these things in this video, but first, it's time for a montage. Over the last year, I think my Tudor Black Bay 58 has gotten the most wrist time out of any watch in my collection. My Oris Aquas might be a close second, but definitely my Black Bay. And I think, as most of you remember correctly, when I did my Tudor video, okay, it's starting to rain harder now, so. As I was saying, I've worn this watch a lot this past year. It's probably gotten the most wrist time out of everything that I have. But I figured I'd start off by giving everyone a little bit of a brief history as to how I ended up with a Black Bay 58, for those of you who haven't seen my original Black Bay video. I always liked the Black Bay heritage. I liked the case. I liked the unique blend between more utilitarian aspects while also mixing in some more stylized elements as well. You end up with more of a fun diver that still has the capability of a great tool watch. But the problem with the Black Bay heritage is the same problem that I run into a lot as a girl who primarily wears men's watches: the dimensions. I have a 6-inch wrist, and a lot of these divers don't quite fit me. But you can imagine my excitement when Tudor finally released the Black Bay 58, which was basically the same thing as the Black Bay heritage, but in a more condensed and reserved size. Then Tudor released the Black Bay 58 in blue, and I had to have it. It was perfect. The color, the dimensions, the case shape, everything about it. It quickly became my grail watch. And not in the sense that this is the last watch I will ever buy, because I don't know if that day will ever come, but in the sense that I had to have it. I quickly became Gollum, and this watch was my precious. Drift. Drift is always a concern when you're talking about mechanical movements. They can drift over time, and this is a COSC certified movement, so I think when I first got it, it was running +2 a day, and now it's running +3, so still well within spec, and it's keeping great time. I will also say this: despite me not being gentle with the watch, I'm not a mad woman. I don't wear it to work on Friday and Saturday because wearing an aluminum bezel to a restaurant is a terrible idea. So I've learned to really appreciate that whole 70-hour power reserve, so when I do finally pick it back up on Sunday or Monday, I don't have to reset the watch.
Wear and tear, signs of life, whatever you want to call it, the reality is if you own a watch for any length of time, you're probably gonna accumulate some scratches along the way. And I've never been a person to baby my watches. At the end of the day, yes, we do want to keep them looking nice and in good condition, but they're still tools, and I use it as such. I don't really baby any of my watches. Well, maybe not with my Grand Seiko, but I swear to God, that Sriracha polishing gets scratched up when I wear a cashmere sweater, but I'm definitely not like that with my Black Bay. And after a year of not being careless per se, but certainly not being gentle, the watch looks pretty good. The Black Bay 58 is a combination of brushed and high polish, so naturally, on the areas that have high polish, I have accumulated some scratches. But they're moderate. They're really not noticeable unless you're looking for them. Now, in the area where it really matters, aka the bezel, I don't have any scratches. I'll admit, when I first had some real wrist time with the Black Bay 58, I was a little concerned about that aluminum bezel. Like aluminum bezels, they tend to fade a little easier over time, they're easier to scratch, but honestly just everyday wear. I haven't had any issues with mine. And sure, I don't know what the bezel's gonna look like in, say, 10 years, but I'm assuming as long as I don't rub it up against something super hard like concrete, then the bezel will be fine.
A lot of the initial thoughts I had about the Black Bay 58 remain unchanged even a year later. The things I like about this watch, I really like, and the things that are less than stellar, I still don't like. We all know that no watch is perfect, and there's some pretty obvious flaws with the Black Bay 58, and some of those flaws bothered me enough that I almost sold it. But I'm kind of happy that I didn't, and I still have it. I don't know if this watch is going to be in my collection forever, but lately it's been getting a lot more wrist time, and I've just really been enjoying wearing it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm really trying to get back to a more consistent upload schedule after taking like 3 months off, basically. The new upload day is Friday, but in the meantime, if you need something to do while you're waiting for that video to happen, I picked out some other content over here that I think you might like. But as always, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.